So today I will show you how you can fix your ray tracing shadows or path tracing shadows. So if I go to the path tracing, so right now you can see the shadows are like low poly. You can see the mesh becomes like a low poly mesh. And if I go to lit like this one, you can see the details are proper right now. And if I go to path tracing, you can see it's just become low poly and it doesn't look good. Okay, so the reason of this thing is nanite is not supported with ray tracing shadows and path tracing. So the first thing you can do is you have to disable your nanite mesh. So right now if you want to see if you enable your nanite, just go to this one and you have to enable triangles. So if your mesh having this type of triangles, it means it is using nanite, and I will recommend you to use nanite because it just gives you like very good performance compared to LODs. It's better to use nanite in your mesh because it will allow you to put so many assets in your scene without getting a major performance dip. So the first thing that you can do is you have to just right click on your mesh. So right now this is the mesh that I'm using in this one. So you have to right click and then there is a nanite option. You have to disable nanite. Okay, so when you disable your nanite, so right now it is not using nanite, so you have to just go to lit mode and nanite visualization triangles. So right now you can see there is nothing triangles, no triangles. It means it is not using nanite. And now if you go to your path tracing, you can see it is properly casting your shadows and it is looking good. Okay, but there is a problem. If you're having a lot of meshes like this and if you disable all your nanite meshes, then it will just decrease your performance. You will get a major performance dip in your viewport and of course in your game also if you're making any kind of game. So I'm not recommending you to disable nanite. There are better ways to deal with these things. So just enable your nanite. So right now you can see this is nanite enabled, the triangles are there. So this is the step number, not step, like solution number 1 to disable nanite, but it is not recommended. The solution number 2 is you can go to the mesh, just click on the mesh and then go to the static mesh, double click on that one and you will see something like this. So you will see something called fallback target. Right now it was in the auto. You have to go to the relative error and you will see fallback relative error. Okay, so this one is 1 right now. You have to make this thing 0 and then you have to apply the changes and then you have to save this thing, minimize this thing, and now you can see it is in lit mode. And if I go to path tracing again, you can see the shadows are properly casted. Okay, so this is the solution number 2 that you can do. Just go to your mesh and change the relative error to 0 and it will fix your mesh. But there is another problem. If you already make your scene like proper full-fledged, like all the meshes, like 100 meshes or something like that, then it is very tedious to go to every meshes and change it like manually. So for me this is not a good solution, and you can try this solution. This last solution is the easiest and the best way to fix this error. Okay, so I will go to my mesh and I will make this thing 1. I will just save this thing. Okay, save. So right now the fallback error is 1, and if I go to path tracing, you can see right now it is again creating that type of issue. So I will show you the last solution that is very easy. You have to just write a console command, raytracing.nanite mode space 1. Okay, and then you have to press enter. Now if you go to your path tracing, you will see the shadows are properly casted without doing anything, and this console variable that I just show you will apply to all your meshes. It doesn't matter how many mesh you have in your scene, it will apply automatically to all your scenes and it will be properly casted your shadow. I think this is the best solution to use nanite and path tracing or ray tracing shadows in Unreal Engine 5 to get proper shadows or reflection, not reflection, like shadows, to get proper shadows. Right now you can see this is path tracing shadows, and if I go to lit, you see there is no difference. This is path tracing and this is path tracing and this is lumen. Okay, so you can see there is no issue with this. So you can use that console variable to get rid of that shadow problem in Unreal Engine 5 using ray tracing or path tracing. And I already make a tutorial on how to fix your lumen shadows in Unreal Engine 5, so you can watch that thing. And yeah, that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.